Mercedes Mone is officially all elite, and in this video I'm going to tell you what she recently said about her AEW debut, because she's been in the headlines for the last several weeks now due to her joining AEW, making the jump from WWE to AEW, right? And a lot of people, well, they were skeptical. There was a lot of people who support Mercedes, a lot of people that know the star value that brings in with Mercedes. But then on the flip side, you have those who, well, she's just overhyped. Well, she's just overrated. What has she done? Yada, yada, yada. Some people think, well, the only reason she became a big star is because of the WWE brand, and without them, then she's not the same, right? We've heard these things from people, and I'm in the category of a supporter. A lot of people. Mercedes Mone, whether you like her, whether you don't like her, you have to agree on a few different things when it comes to her. One, she is extremely talented, both in the ring and on the mic. Number two, she is charismatic. She brings a quality that not a lot of people have, which is natural charisma. When she walks into a room, she lights it up like a Christmas tree. And number three, she has a very loyal fan base behind her. Wherever she goes, whether that was in WWE, whether that was outside of WWE, regarding her acting work on The Mandalorian, whether that was when she was in New Japan / Stardom, now that she's in AEW, that fan base follows her no matter where she goes. And that is something to be said, because in a lot of ways, you've heard these stories about former wrestlers. Rob Van Dam, RVD, he most notably said this years ago, which I thought was very interesting, which was when he would be in TNA, Booker T said this as well, people would come up to him at the airport or convention signings and go, "Hey man, when did you retire?" Or, "Hey man, when are you going to work again?" And he'd be like, "I'm on TNA wrestling every week. Do you not watch?" Right? Once you get out of that WWE bubble, there's only so many fans that will follow certain people to other promotions. Mercedes Mone, well, she brought in those fan bases, because not only did her segment in the opening segment of Dynamite Big Business draw 1 million viewers, and then slowly just deteriorated since then throughout the show, she also pulled in over 9,000 people to the TD Garden in Boston. Right? Those are legitimate numbers for Mercedes Mone. And so she talked about her overwhelming emotions and gratitude while appearing on the Kawani Has Questions show regarding her AEW debut, and this is what she had to say. "I'm still on such a high. I still have those goosebumps. It's been almost 2 years since I've been on American television. Honestly, my fans didn't make me feel like I was gone. I was trending every single day. They never let my name die. It was so beautiful. The CEO chants, name dropped. I walked through those tunnels. The eruption was the biggest eruption I ever felt, and I've been in professional wrestling for 14 years. I had the biggest goosebumps, the biggest smile. I felt complete. I really found my home in AEW." End quote. Very interesting, all right? Because if you recall, days before her making her AEW debut on the Kick Rots podcast, my lord, did she have people upset over the comments in which she made, because she stated that she knows that she will be back in WWE one day, right? And a lot of people are like, "Well, why would you say this right before you make your AEW debut? What is wrong with you? Don't you respect Tony Khan? Don't you respect AEW? Don't you respect the rest of the talent pool, whether that be the women's or men's division in All Elite Wrestling?" And it's like, of course she does. Of course she does. But let's be realistic here. Most people are going to go back to WWE. Not everyone is a John Moxley who has vowed to never ever return to WWE. Now keep in mind, it's a business. These people are business people at the end of the day. They are independent contractors working for their own company. And when you look at someone like Mercedes Mone stating that she would go back to WWE one day, you have to keep in mind that she left WWE in the first place because she had a creative issue with Vince McMahon. Well, newsflash, Vince McMahon is no longer in charge of WWE Creative. It's Triple H. She has a great relationship with Triple H. In fact, once he took over main roster creative in the summer of 2022 following the Hush Money scandal involving Vince McMahon, Not only did Mercedes Mone have talks, but she was in heated talks, deep talks with WWE for big money. Why did that deal not work out? It wasn't because Mone didn't want to go back to the company. It's not because the company didn't value her enough. It's because she was asking for a really, really high figure. She reportedly, according to Dave Meltzer, wanted to be paid on the level of Becky Lynch. I've previously heard that she wanted to be paid on Charlotte Flair level, which was about $7 million a year. So it's not a lack of interest from both sides, right? And then you look at 2023 when she was once again in really deep talks with WWE. It wasn't a lack of interest. It wasn't, I don't like Triple H kind of thing. It was, she wanted to be paid big bucks. And clearly Tony Khan sees the value. He thinks that he can get an ROI on the name of Mercedes Mone on his television show. And he backed up the Brinks truck and he wrote her a blank check, and he got what he wanted and she got what she wanted, right? He sees value in her to the point where Sean Ross Sapp, he noted in a Q&A over the weekend that there is going to be a Mercedes segment, and then there's going to be the rest of the women's segment on Dynamite and Collision and Rampage and whenever she's booked on television, right? You have those segments for key people, right? It's no different from what we're seeing right now, where you have the Samoa Joe segment, you have the Swerve segment, you have an Okada and the Young Butt segment, right? There are notable segments where, okay, these are our top draws, they get their own segments, and then we kind of build the show around them, right? That's what you do with booking, that's what you do with creative. And so Mercedes Mone is not only coming in as a top female star, more importantly, she's coming in as a top draw for the promotion. AEW has done this well in the past, and I understand that Tony Khan and AEW, they get criticized all the time because they can't book the women's division, and to a certain point, I agree with that said criticism. However, if you look at what they did with Britt Baker during the pandemic when she was AEW Women's Champion, she had her own segment. She was a must-see attraction on television. They're currently doing that now and have been for the last 6 months or so, really dating back to when she reintroduced, or not reintroduced, but she created her timeless Tony character in Tony Storm, who has saved that women's division for the last 6 months, where when she is on television, whether it's a backstage promo, an in-ring promo, she's on commentary, she's in the ring, she's at ringside, whatever, whenever she's used on television, it's must-see television. It's no different with Samoa Joe and Swerve and back in the day, MJF and Adam Cole, yada, yada, yada. Mercedes Mone is not only in that same category, but she is among the elite of the elite in terms of star power in which the promotion can bring in, and I think it's a great thing. Let me know down in the comments area below, do you agree with my take? Do you see Mercedes Mone in the same way? Do you think she's overrated? Let me know. Hit that subscribe button for more wrestling content. Make sure you hit that notification bell so when you're notified every single time we upload content to this channel. And with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video.